How's it going, guys? Today I'm going to be featuring the Mainz CE, the collector's edition, or the Mainz that really you can't actually purchase anymore. Not that much different from the Mainz that they released after, but I guess the main purpose of taking this ship out again was mainly because of the new Russian commander that does the AP skill thing. Whenever you land shells, you get additional damage for your armor piercing shells. And Mainz being one of the ships with very good AP and also a lot of guns that fire pretty fast, I figure we could probably take this out and see just, I guess, what it does. Although, at the end of this video when I show my build, I think I am gonna go and switch to Arthas, mainly because, well, we do have fighter plane, and I mean Arthas does 20% more damage, so think about the 20% more damage plus the 15% I guess from Mainz and I guess the Russian commander. If we actually let it keep going, we are using Riegerwald as the main commander, mainly because obviously, I mean, we're trying to build as much AP as we possibly can. And yeah, I kind of also considered, or actually I considered it, but I didn't actually equip it, a legendary mod. Because imagine also legendary mod on your cruiser and dealing 5% more damage for every kill you get. I mean, that's just absolutely nasty. So the math, let's see, 20% from not just Arthas, 15% from the new Russian commander. If we had ledge mod, I mean 5 for every kill. I mean, we're basically looking at 50% plus more EP damage, which honestly is kind of nutty. Imagine if something like Minotaur had a plane and could actually make use of Arthas. That would be absolutely ridiculous. Charging into the cap here, I mean, Mainz is one of the cruisers that you could probably get away with this because, well, not only do you have torpedoes, but you also have sonar and good enough guns if a destroyer tried to YOLO you that you can probably fend for yourself. Kind of unfortunate though, the I guess one of the battleships that could overmatch the Nelson did spawn in front of us, and he's kind of just chilling in spawn and I guess essentially ready to bow in reverse, so we're just not going to risk charging out at him. And the thing about Conk, even if he's not shooting EP and absolutely smashing us, overmatching us, his HE will probably knock out our engine, which is also something we kind of want to avoid. Hipper on the flank, also trying to position ourselves to I guess not have to worry about him charging out and getting our broadside and torpedoing us. Our friendly Gneisenau is going balls to the wall, charging at a Scharnhorst and a Nelson. And while the Nelson is reversing away, focusing our Gneisenau, this is a perfect opportunity to start farming him. As soon as he does decide to start farming us, we can actually just disengage and try to run away behind the island again. But as it stands, I don't really think we have to worry about him because he's so tunnel visioned on the Gneisenau. Enemy Scharnhorst coming out flat broadside, we switch to our EP. I think the Scharnhorst did turn away a little, so I don't think our torps are going to reach. But you can just see how much we're chunking this Scharnhorst. I don't remember if I actually shot AP when he was originally first spotted, or if I shot HE. But I mean, imagine if he was actually full HP and we could actually put more AP into him, or even if he had Arthas. 20% more damage, just how nasty that would be. Was a mistake that I didn't put him on or really think that far ahead, because I think right now we only have Gunther Lichens and the commander. I mean, Lichens does do 6% AP damage, but obviously it's nowhere near what Arthas could do. Gneisenau though, still charging at the Nelson. Somehow he's not dead yet. I'm actually kind of surprised. Nelson just simply reversing away. Mainz having more than enough HE pen to pen Nelson's 32 casemate and deck. We're gonna start chunking him. He's also showing enough broadside that we don't really have to worry about hitting his turrets, which I think originally we were when he was bow in reversing away from the Gneisenau. But now that he kind of showed a little more broadside while trying to reverse away from the Gneisenau, we did get quite a few hits on his deck, and I mean the HE, even though it's a low alpha, having higher pen and just so many shells, we were kind of doing a good amount of damage aside from the fires that we set. Hipper, for some reason, decided to turn away and I guess run away from the Baltimore that is currently behind me. Not really sure, maybe he was trying to help the Nelson with the Gneisenau, but I mean, considering there were no other battleships with us, I think Hipper could have just YOLO'd in and torped the Baltimore, but instead he decided to run away and not actually use his brawling capabilities, which I think is a huge misplay. There also seems to be an AFK cruiser in their middle spawn, as well as us having an AFK battleship in our middle spawn, which is also kind of weird. 2 ships, 1 on each team being AFK. I mean, probably just they're from the same area and they had like some internet outage or something. Salvo at Hipper, unfortunately we don't get the hits we want, get a couple of shatters and torpedo protection hits, so we don't actually get to finish him off there. Now an AFK Charles Martel, I mean, no shame in farming free damage. Trying to see and take advantage of our AP skill, I decide to kind of slow down to try and keep the broadside as long as we can here. Although as soon as we start actually dealing damage to him, he starts moving, which is kind of odd. Not really sure why he was AFK for so long and only now started moving. Kind of unfortunate because now we can't actually test our EP and see just how nasty it could be. So now we're forced to switch to AP, or sorry, HE, because he bows in and starts charging at us. Luckily, there were no ships that we were in any sort of threat to, so we didn't really have to use our sonar yet. So we're just going to charge in at this Charles Martel, who gives broadside to our Gneisenau, and our Gneisenau kind of smashes his broadside. Kind of interesting, he's just charging at me, giving broadside to our battleship, but also not shooting our battleship that's much lower than I am. I mean, I guess I can't be mad, because he's not doing what he needs for his team to win. He's kind of just helping our team win, paid actors, I guess. Obviously, we get so many of these that honestly kind of hard to like beat any allegations. Now, I have to make a decision here whether I go to A, or sorry, not A, the North Cap and get XP, or if I just charge straight at the enemy, mainly because, well, there is an AFK Synop in our spawn, and I'm assuming those ships, the Brandenburg and the New Orleans, are going to try to take advantage of an AFK ship and do the same thing I did, no shame in farming free damage and XP. But we also have to kind of be worried about a destroyer. When we were shooting the Charles Martel, we did stay spotted a little longer after he died, so we kind of knew the destroyer was sort of sticking around. And, well, we're kind of reaching the butt end, or rather are on the butt end, and our sonar is about to run out, which is not really something you want whenever there's a destroyer that's around you, especially being located. So we know we're the closest. Also, I don't know where our destroyer was, but he came from like the top left corner of the map. Not sure how he got there, but he did. And, well, considering I'm staying spotted, he's definitely not to the left, so I decided to turn hard in towards the objective where he was last spotted. And, I mean, another paid actor, I guess. He started shooting at the Synop that was AFK, and, I mean, instead of torping him, he got spotted and killed. I mean, I really don't know how to, like, defend against the paid actor, allegations here, because it just happens so often. I don't really know what to do. We start farming the Brandenburg and New Orleans. Obviously, we need one more kill for a Kraken. I'm kind of assuming the Brandenburg would try to focus the Synop to try and, I guess, call some of the points lead that we have and maybe give them a little more time. But he decided to shoot me. I mean, I guess he's probably thinking he could let his secondaries farm the Synop and use his main guns to shoot the thing that's actually shooting him, which I guess is also technically the correct play. But once we angle away and start kiting, he actually switches to AP, which I kind of find amusing. His first salvo was HE, and then I guess he assumed I was going to sail broadside, be a paid actor for him, I guess. But we angled away, and now there's not much he can do. His AP doesn't actually overmatch because, well, what is Brandenburg? A bunch of 305s against a 25mm cruiser? Yeah, unfortunately that's not gonna do a whole lot for him. New Orleans sailing flat broadside. I'm trying my best to finish him off, although at this point I wasn't really paying attention to the points. And I mean, in hindsight, they almost got our Synop dead, which would have extended the match a little. New Orleans on a sliver of HP, not really landing enough shells. He finally realizes he needs to start running away, otherwise he's going to die. And he turns perfect stern on, starts trying to wiggle. But I mean, Mainz having so many guns, having such a fast reload, I mean, shells will start to land eventually as he keeps turning, he's losing speed, and we finally land shells. Synop actually survives because Brandenburg did not focus him instead, and yeah, I guess that's where and why I thought it would have been better for Brandenburg to finish the Synop first instead of trying to shoot at me. But obviously, the only ship that's actually shooting at him, I guess he thought secondaries might have been a little more useful. But I'm pretty sure he could have citadeled Synop with his AP instead of shooting at a Mainz kiting. Probably also would have been a little better, but it is what it is. We finished with the Kraken, High Caliber, and Confederate. Not the best XP. We didn't really do a whole lot. I mean, we did chunks here and there to a bunch of different ships, but yeah, definitely not enough to surpass 3k, unfortunately, but it's still a Kraken. A Kraken's a Kraken. And here's where I finally decide, you know what, maybe it would have been better to have Arthas, because we would have also had so much more damage, and I mean, realistically, it also would have helped us with HE damage as well. So, all in all, I think Arthas probably would have been better here. I guess even torpedoes, since Arthas does help torpedo damage. So if our torps didn't run out, it actually probably would have helped against the Scharnhorst. Even though we did chunk him so much with our main guns, it didn't really matter if we landed torps. But I mean, it's an interesting build. We didn't get to make full use of it yet, but I think in practice and on paper, the theory is there. I think we just need a better opportunity to shoot broadside things, and then it'll show how rewarding it is to actually have the Russian commander as an inspiration. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this one. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like and subscribe for more, and share with your friends, or leave a comment down below on other ships you want to see in the future. But anyway guys, till next time, aloha.